Gotta check. Is the light working? Okay, good. We're live, we're mobile. Currently, I am live right now on the floor again. My car charger's been having issues this week, getting low on batteries. I gotta go somewhere right after, so I'll try to make this as quick as possible. But we got some big deals that happened in the last week. And then today, finally, the Manny Machado sweepstakes end. He's just signed a 10-year, $300 million deal with the Padres. We'll see what the Padres do in that NL West, but they got Eric Hosmer and Ian Kinsler already. That could be a big three in the lineup for the Padres. I still think they're going to be probably, because of this Machado deal, we're probably going to be a freaking third place team or something right now. You got the Dodgers, who are still pretty good, but Machado goes in the division. He's going to be at third base. They signed him and Kinsler this year. Padres got some good dealers, but I don't know if they're going to be that good this year. We got the Rockies and Dodgers ahead of them. I think they'll be a third place team right now. But Machado, 10-year deal signed with the San Diego Padres for $300 million. This might break the Bryce Harper sweepstakes. So let's see where he goes. But it took him a while to sign, and that's pretty cool, I guess. A $300 million deal. That's a lot right now. Hang on, let me turn down my volume. Oops, daisies. Yes, but Manny Machado, my goodness, he's a good player. Just was on the Dodgers and the Orioles, four-time All-Star, two-time Gold Glove winner at third base. He made 16 mil between the Dodgers and Orioles last year. Yeah, but San Diego, he's 26 years old. He had a 905 OPS in 2018, 37 homers, 107 RBIs, 14 stolen bases. Yeah, but the Padres with Hosmer, Machado, Will Myers, I think they got two. Yeah, yep, Will Myers, and there was another guy. Yes, Eric Hosmer. But my goodness, that's a big deal. And Ian Kinsler. But the Padres are going to be they're up and coming teams right now. They're third place. That's a breaking story. That's why I'm talking so less. I didn't know that was going to happen to him, but this could make the Bryce Harper sweepstakes go more harder. Like Bryce Harper, Marwin Gonzalez, Craig Kimbrell. I heard Kimbrell might sign with the Braves, but we'll see. Bryce Harper might sign with somebody somewhere. Now it's the Phillies or the Giants are the rumors right now. But that's awesome for him. Congratulations to Manny Machado. I'm going to go over the NCAA basketball standings this week. Just go over the NASCAR Daytona 500, some NFL signings too. That's about it. I did not know Duke is now the new number one overall, passing Tennessee when Tennessee lost to Kentucky this week. Tonight's let's see. I'll go over the schedule. I think I did it last Monday, so we'll go for last Monday's results all the way to Tuesday. Tonight's games include Dayton at Davidson at 6 on CBS Sports Network, Vanderbilt at 5th ranked Tennessee at 7 on ESPN, 15th ranked Purdue's at IU at 7 on ESPN2, Ohio's at 25th ranked Buffalo on ESPN Plus, Akron's at Bowling Green at 7 on ESPN Plus, Nebraska's at Penn State at 7 on FS1, Wake Forest at Notre Dame at 7 on ESPNU, Ole Miss at South Carolina at 7 on SEC Network, Ball State's at Miami of Ohio at 7 on ESPN Plus, Toledo's at Eastern at 7 on ESPN Plus, Kent State's at Central at 7 on ESPN Plus, 24th ranked Maryland's at 21st ranked Iowa at 8 on Big Ten Network. Some good games tonight. Rhode Island's at VCU at 8 on CBS Sports Network. 4th ranked Kentucky's at Missouri at 9 on ESPN. 16th ranked Florida State's at Clemson on ESPN. Baylor's at 19 on Iowa State at 9 on ESPN2. Alabama's at Texas A&M at 9 on SEC Network. And UNLV's at Wyoming at 10 on CBS Sports Network. No. Accept the risk. My computer's acting funny at the moment. Last Monday I did it just because I was busy on Tuesday. Wanted to sleep. Actually, no, from the 11th. Last week's results from the 11th, including the 18th. 4th ranked Virginia was at 8th ranked North Carolina. Virginia won 69-61. 14th ranked Kansas was at TCU in overtime. Kansas won 82-77. I just missed that one in overtime. I had to go to work. Oklahoma was at Baylor. Baylor beat Oklahoma 59-53. February 12th, second ranked Duke was at 16th ranked Louisville. Duke was down by 20 when I left at left before the game, but Duke came back and won 71-69 over Louisville. Biggest blown lead I think this year. 19th ranked LSU beat 5th ranked Kentucky on a buzzer beater, 73-71. 6th ranked Michigan got upset by Penn State. Penn State won 75-69. 10th ranked Marquette beat DePaul 1973. MSU was 11th ranked. They beat Wisconsin 67-59. 12th ranked Purdue went to 24th ranked Maryland. Maryland won 70-56. 18th ranked Kansas State beat Texas at Texas 71-64. 25th ranked Buffalo beat Akron 76-70. I was at the Western and Northern Illinois game for a little bit. Western won 76-74. Ohio lost to Eastern Michigan at Ohio 66-57. Bowling Green beat Central 79-72 at Bowling Green. Texas A&M beat Georgia 73-56. Boston College beat Pittsburgh, hosting Boston College 66-57. St. John's beat Butler at St. John's 77-73 in overtime. Alabama at Mississippi State. Mississippi State 181-62. Arkansas at Missouri. Missouri 179-78. Air Force at UNLV. UNLV 177-72. San Diego State at Colorado State. Colorado State 171-60. Wednesday the 13th, that was February 13th. First ranked Tennessee at the time beat South Carolina at Tennessee 85-73. Providence at 13th ranked Villanova. Villanova won 85-67 over Providence. 15th ranked Texas Tech at Oklahoma State. Texas Tech won 78-60 over Oklahoma State. 17th ranked Florida State hosted Wake Forest. Florida State won 88-66. Georgia Tech's at 22nd ranked Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech won 76-68. Army beat Boston University at Army 71-61. George Washington hosted St. Louis. St. Louis won 73-58. George Mason hosted UMass. George Mason won 80-75 in overtime. Vermont hosted New Hampshire. Vermont won 73-44. The later cap games, Memphis at East Carolina. Memphis won 79-69. SMU at Temple. Temple won 82-74. South Florida at UCF. UCF won 78-65. Rutgers at Northwestern. Rutgers won 59-56. Clemson at Miami, Ohio, Miami, Florida. Miami won 65-64. Let's see here. Navy lost to Lafayette 80-74 at Navy. Syracuse NC State. NC State won 73-58. Loyola Chicago at Bradley. Bradley won 61-54 over the Final Four team Loyola Chicago. Ole Miss at Auburn. Ole Miss won 60-55. Auburn's sliding continues. Creighton's at Xavier. Xavier won 64-61 in overtime. Georgetown at Seton Hall. Seton Hall beat Georgetown 90-75. Vanderbilt at Florida. Florida won 66-57. Minnesota at Nebraska. Nebraska won 62-61. UCLA at California. UCLA won 75-67 in overtime. Arizona State at Colorado. Colorado won 77-73 over Arizona State. They've been sliding too. Boise State's at Fresno State. Fresno State won 65-63. And USC at Stanford. Stanford won 79-76 over USC. Thursday the 14th, Valentine's Day. Third ranked Gonzaga was at Loyola Marymount. Gonzaga won 73-60. Ninth ranked Houston was at UConn. Houston won 71-63. Kent State was at Western. I was at a little bit of this one before Kent State pulled away. Kent State won 82-63 over Western. Other games that day, North Texas, Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic won 57-47 over North Texas. Tulsa at Tulane. Tulsa won 80-57 over Tulane. Let's see here. Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky won 71-63. UAB at Marshall. UAB won 77-68 over Marshall. Arizona was at Utah. Utah won 83-76. Hawaii hosting Cal Poly. Hawaii won 75-54. There wasn't a lot of good games Thursday. And Friday, too, the 15th of February. 25th ranked Buffalo was at Toledo. Buffalo came back, won 88-82. Other games, Friday, Davidson hosted St. Joe's. Davidson won 80-72. Harvard at Princeton. Harvard beat Princeton 78-69. On Saturday, the 16th, the big one was 5th ranked Kentucky hosting 1st ranked Tennessee. Kentucky won big 86-69. Proving that Tennessee might not have it just yet against big teams. NC State 2nd ranked Duke at the time. Duke won 94-78. 3rd ranked Gonzaga played at San Diego. Gonzaga won 79-67. Notre Dame at 4th ranked Virginia. Virginia won 60-54. Excuse me. 24th ranked Maryland at 6th ranked Michigan at the time. Michigan won 65-52. 7th ranked Nevada at Wyoming. Nevada won 82-49. A sleeper team. 8th ranked North Carolina was at Wake Forest. North Carolina won 95-57. Penn State at 12th ranked Purdue. Purdue won 76-64. West Virginia at 14th ranked Kansas. Kansas won 78-53. Baylor at 15th ranked Texas Tech. Texas Tech won 86-61. Clemson at 16th ranked Louisville. Louisville only won by 56-55. 17th ranked Florida State at Georgia Tech. Florida State won 69-47. 23rd ranked Iowa State at 18th ranked Kansas State. Iowa State won 78-64. 19th ranked LSU at Georgia. LSU won 83-79. On a buzzer beater, 21st ranked Iowa at Rutgers. Iowa won 71-69. 22nd ranked Virginia Tech at Pittsburgh. Virginia Tech won 70-64. The unranked matchups, Auburn at Vanderbilt. Auburn won 64-53. Oklahoma at TCU. Oklahoma won 71-62. TCU's slipping lately. Southern Illinois at Indiana State. Southern Illinois won 79-57. Let's see here. Oklahoma State at Texas, Texas 169 to 57. A&M at South Carolina, South Carolina 170, 84-77. Florida at Alabama, Florida 171-53 over Bama. IU at Minnesota, Minnesota won 84-63 over IU. Xavier at Providence, Xavier 175-61. Fordham at Rhode Island, Fordham beat Rhode Island in overtime 66-63. Akron at Ball State, Ball State 157-56. Coastal Carolina, Appalachian State, Appalachian State 188-79. Middle Tennessee at Marshall, Marshall 198-93. I was at this one a little bit. Miami, Ohio at Western, Western 184-79 overtime. Army at Navy, Navy 179-68 over Army. Let's see here. U have at Western Kentucky, U have 168-60 over Western Kentucky. Missouri at Ole Miss, Ole Miss 175-65 over Missouri. BYU at Loyola Marymount, BYU 170-62. VCU at Dayton, VCU 169-68 over Dayton. Utah State at Air Force, Air Force lost 76-62. Let's see here. Other big ones. Ohio at Central Michigan, Central 187-80 over Ohio. Bowling Green at Northern Illinois, Bowling Green 187-67 over NIU. This was a buzzer beater. South Dakota State at North Dakota State, South Dakota State 178-77. UNLV at San Jose State, UNLV 171-64. Vermont at Hartford, Vermont beat Hartford 77-75. Other games, Memphis at UCF, UCF 179-72. Temple at South Florida, Temple 170-69 in overtime. Dartmouth at Princeton, Princeton 169-68 over Dartmouth. Boise State, San Diego State 171-65. Fresno State, New Mexico, Fresno State 181-73. EMU at Kent State 171-58. USC at California, USC 189-66. Washington at Washington State, Washington 172-70. Other games, DePaul at Butler, Butler 191-78 over DePaul. Bradley and Illinois State, Bradley beat Illinois State 65-59. Mississippi State, Arkansas, Mississippi State 177-67. Belmont at Tennessee Tech, Belmont 193-65. Louisiana, UL Monroe, Louisiana beat UL Monroe 83-76. Northwestern, Nebraska, Nebraska beat Northwestern 59-50. Arizona State, Utah, Arizona State 198-87. UCLA at Stanford, Stanford won 104-80 over UCLA. San Fran at Portland, San Fran 168-63 over Portland. Oregon at Oregon State, Oregon State won 72-57. UC Riverside at Hawaii, Hawaii won 87-64. And those are the big ones on Saturday, the 16th, Friday the 17th, or Sunday the 17th, my bad. This was last Sunday. 9th ranked Houston beat Tulane bad, 85-50. Ohio State was at 11th ranked Michigan State at the time, MSU 162-44. 13th ranked Villanova got upset again. They lost to St. John's 71-65. Wichita State, Cincinnati, Cincinnati 172-62. Tulsa at East Carolina, Tulsa 177-73 in overtime. George Mason, St. Bonaventure 179-56. Quinnipiac at Siena in over 3 overtimes. Quinnipiac won 107-100. Let's see here. Seton Hall at Creighton, Seton Hall 181-75. Northern Illinois at Evansville, Northern Illinois won 73-58. Missouri State at Loyola Chicago, Missouri State won 65-61. Miami at Boston College, Boston College beat Miami 64-57. Arizona at Colorado, Colorado won 67-60 over Arizona. The 18th, which was last night, 3rd ranked Virginia beat 20th ranked Virginia Tech 64-58. Illinois at 22nd ranked Wisconsin, Wisconsin won 64-58. 23rd ranked Kansas State at West Virginia, Kansas State won 65-51. TCU at Oklahoma State won 68-61 over TCU. And those were all the big ones last night. Already went over Tuesday's matchups. The 20th, which was Wednesday, Rutgers at MSU at 6:30 on Big Ten Network. 17th ranked Villanova at Georgetown at 6:30 on FS1. Mississippi State's at Georgia at 6:30 on SEC Network. Florida's at 13th ranked LSU at 7 on ESPN2. 18th ranked Louisville's at Syracuse at 7 on ESPN. Xavier's at Seton Hall at 7 on CBS Sports Network. Tulane's at Memphis at 7 on ESPNU. Boston College at NC State on ACC Network. UMass at George Washington at 7 on ESPN+. Lipscomb at Florida Gulf Coast at 7 on ESPN+. Navy's at Loyola Marymount at 7. Evansville's at Loyola Chicago on ESPN+ at 7. Other matchups, Northern Iowa's at Missouri State at 8 on ESPN+. Northwestern's at Ohio State at 8:30 on Big Ten Network. St. John's at Providence at 8:30 on FS1. 8:30 Arkansas at Auburn on SEC Network. Big one on ESPN Wednesday night. 8th ranked North Carolina's at 1st ranked Duke on ESPN. Butler's at 11th ranked Marquette at 11 on CBS Sports Network. Pittsburgh at Georgia Tech at 9 on ACC Network. Wichita State at Tulsa at 9 on ESPNU. Creighton's at DePaul at 9. Stanford's at Arizona State at 9 ESPN2. Colorado's at Washington State at 10. Air Force is at Fresno State at 10. Colorado State's at San Jose State at 10. 6th ranked Nevada's at San Diego State at 11 on the CBS Sports Network. New Mexico's at Utah State at 11 on ESPNU. Utah is at Washington at 11 on FS1. And those are the Wednesday matchups. Let's see here. Thursday the 21st now. 7th ranked Michigan's at Minnesota at 7 on ESPN Thursday night. UCF's at Cincinnati at 7 on ESPN2. Hartford's at New Hampshire at 7 on ESPN Plus. Vermont's at UMBC at 7 on ESPNU. That's a good one. I'll watch that too. Winthrop's at Radford at 7 on ESPN Plus. Wagner's at Bryan at 7 on CBS Sports Network. Other matchups, I'm looking here. Eastern Illinois at Belmont at 8 on ESPN Plus. Louisiana at UT Arlington at 8. And the Thursday nightcap, Idaho's at Northern Arizona at 8:30. At 9, Pepperdine's at second-ranked Gonzaga. Gonzaga's second-ranked now. That's cool. It's not on TV, though. ESPN2, UConn's at SMU at 9. California's at Arizona at 9 FS1. San Francisco is at BYU at 9. Oregon's at USC at 9 on ESPN. High Point's at Campbell at 9 on ESPNU. And the nightcap, Hawaii's at USC Santa Barbara at 11. And Oregon State's at UCLA at 11 on FS1. Friday the 22nd's matchups. Let's see here. Bowling Green's at Ohio at 6:30 on CBS Sports Network. Kent State's at 25th ranked Buffalo at 7 on ESPN2. I use it Iowa, 21st ranked Iowa and FS1 at 9. That's a big one. Green Bay's at UIC at 9 on ESPNU. Davidson's at Rhode Island at 9 on ESPN2. Saturday's matchups, let's see here. Some good ones here I'm looking at. 3rd ranked Virginia's at 18th ranked Louisville at 12 on ACC Network. 5th ranked Tennessee's at 13th ranked LSU at noon on ESPN. 11th ranked Marquette's at Providence at noon on Fox. Penn State's at Illinois at noon on Fox. Actually, that's Big Ten Network. Boston College's at Clemson at noon on ACC Network. Texas at Oklahoma at 12 on ESPNU. Tulsa's at Temple at 12 on ESPN News. Not a lot of good new ones except the two big ones, Virginia, Louisville, Tennessee, LSU. Auburn's at 4th ranked Kentucky at 1:30 on CBS. 19th ranked Iowa State's at TCU on ESPN2. Ohio State's at Maryland, 24th ranked Maryland at 2 on ESPN. Georgia Tech's at Miami at 2 on ACC Network. West Virginia's at Baylor at 2 on ESPNU. Vermont's at Birmingham at 2 on ESPN3. Miami of Ohio's at Akron at 2 on ESPN Plus. Central Michigan's at Ball State at 2 on ESPN Plus. Let's see here. Western's at Eastern Michigan at 2 on ESPN Plus. Navy's at Colgate at 2 on CBS Sports Network. Georgetown's at Creighton at 2:30 on Fox. Youngstown State's at Wright State at 3 on ESPN Plus. UWeb's at Southern Miss at 3. Georgia's at Ole Miss at 3:30 on SEC Network. 16th ranked Florida State's at 8th ranked North Carolina at 3:45 on CBS. 15th ranked Purdue's at Nebraska at 4 on Big Ten Network. 20th ranked Virginia Tech's at Notre Dame at 4 on ESPN. Oklahoma State's at 23rd ranked Kansas State on ESPN2. Missouri's at Florida at 4 on ESPNU. St. Louis is at Dayton at 4 on CBS Sports Network. Excuse me. Florida National's at Florida Atlantic at 4. San Jose State's at Air Force at 4. Utah State's at Boise State at 4. Let's see here. Little Rock's at Arkansas State at 5 on ESPN Plus. First ranked Duke's at Syracuse at 6 on ESPN. Like that matchup. South Florida, it's a rematch of when Syracuse beat Duke. And Duke's number 1 again. South Florida's at 9th ranked Houston at 9 on ESPN2. Oregon State's at USC at 6 on Pac-12 Network. Northern Illinois at Toledo at 6 on CBS Sports Network. South Carolina's at Mississippi State at 6 on SEC Network. Vanderbilt's at Alabama at 6 on ESPNU. Dartmouth's at Brown at 6 on ESPN Plus. The 7 o'clock matchups I'm looking here. Not a lot of big ones. At 8, Fresno State's at 6th ranked Nevada on CBS Sports Network. Big one ESPN. I think game day might be here. Hopefully I can see my cousin Jacob. 12th ranked Kansas at 14th ranked Texas Tech at 8 on ESPN. Utah's at Washington State at 8 on Pac-12 Network. East Carolina's at Tulane at 8 on ESPNU. Memphis is at Wichita State at 8 on ESPN2. Seton Hall's at St. John's at 8 on FS1. 22nd ranked Wisconsin's at Northwestern at 8:30 on Big Ten Network. Texas A&M's at Arkansas at 8:30 on SEC Network. Rice at UTEP at 9. BYU's at 2nd ranked Gonzaga at 10 on ESPN. Oregon's at UCLA at 10 on ESPN2. Hawaii's at Cal Poly at 10. Colorado's at Washington at 10:30 on Pac-12 Network. San Diego State's at UNLV at 10 on ESPNU. And San Francisco's at Santa Clara at 11. Those are the big ones for Saturday, the 22nd. The 23rd on Sunday. Actually, no, I hit the wrong March button. No, I want February. I want Sunday the 24th. Sunday the 24th, SMU's at UCF at noon on CBS Sports Network. 17th ranked Villanova's at Xavier at 1:30 on CBS. Cincinnati's at UConn at 2 on ESPN. Winnipeg's at Monmouth at 2 on ESPN Plus. Drake's at Illinois State at 2 on CBS Sports Network. Big one on Sunday. 10th ranked Michigan State's at 7th ranked at Michigan at 3:45 on CBS. Loyola Chicago's at Southern Illinois at 4 on ESPNU. Milwaukee's at UIC at 4:12 on ESPN Plus. Wake Forest at NC State 6 on ESPNU. Cal's at Arizona State 6 on Pac-12 Network. Minnesota's at Rutgers at 6:30 on Big Ten Network. And Stanford's at Arizona at 8 on ESPN2. The Monday the 25th matchup, we'll do our next podcast the 26th. But Monday the 25th matchups include Notre Dame at 16th ranked Florida State at 7 on ESPNU. Not a lot of ranked teams playing that day. South Carolina State, North Carolina Central at 7 on ESPNU. GT at Lipscomb at 7:30 on ESPN Plus. Oklahoma at 19th ranked Iowa State at 8 on ESPN2. 23rd ranked Kansas State, 12th ranked Kansas. That's actually a big ranked matchup at 9 on ESPN. That's the Monday matchups. The standings right now. So we'll start with the American Athletic Conference. I do conference-wise. Vermont's 11-1 conference. Stony Brook's in second at 9-2. Third, UMBC's at 9-3 and third right behind them. American Athletic Conference, 9th ranked Houston's 12-1. Second right behind them, a half game back. Cincinnati at 10-2. UCF's 9-3 and third, and Temple's fourth at 9-4. The Atlantic 10, Davidson and VCU are tied at 10-2. George Mason's 9-4 and third. Dayton's in fourth at 8-4. DeQuincy and St. Louis are tied for fifth at 8-5. And St. Bonaventure 7-5 and seventh. The ACC, Duke's first ranked, they're 11-1. Second and a half a game behind them. Third ranked Virginia 11-2. Eighth ranked North Carolina's at 10-2, a game back. 18th ranked Louisville's 9-4 and 4. 16th ranked Florida State's 8-4. Tied with Syracuse for fifth, and Virginia Tech's 9-5 and seventh. The Atlantic Sun Conference, Liberty and Lipscomb are tied at 12-1. NIGT is in third, 5.5 games back. The Big 12's wild. 23rd ranked Kansas State's 10-3. They have a one-game lead tied with Texas Tech and Kansas, 14th and 12 at 9-4. This is a big gate week for Kansas, I think. They got to beat Texas Tech, Kansas State in order to stay alive for the Big 12 race, a solo race. 4th ranked, 19th ranked Iowa State is 4th. The Big East Conference, 17th ranked Villanova is 11-2. Marquette's right behind them at 10-2 and third. Seton Hall and St. John's are tied at 7-6 for third place. The Big Sky, Montana's 12-2 and first. Northern Colorado's second at 11-4. Weber State's third at 10-5. Montana State's 9-6 and fourth. The Big South Conference, Radford's 10-2. Winthrop's 9-4. Campbell's 8-4 and third. Presbyterian's 8-5 and fourth. Gardner-Webb's and High Point are tied for fifth at 7-5. The Big Ten, big week for Michigan and Michigan State. They play Sunday. They're both 12-3, tied for first. They're going to play each other for the first time. Purdue's 15th ranked, they're third at 11-3. Maryland and Wisconsin are tied at fourth at 10-5, and Iowa's 9-5 and sixth. The Big West Conference, UC Irvine's 10-1. CSU Fullerton's 8-3 and second. Hawaii's 7-4 and third. UC Davis is fourth at 6-4 and fifth. Or UC Santa Barbara at 6-5. The Colonial Athletic Association, Hofstra's 12-2 and first. Northeastern's 10-4 and second. Charleston's 10-5 and third. Delaware's 8-7 and fourth. William and Mary's in fifth at 6-8. The CUSA, Old Dominion's from first at 11-3. Southern Miss is 9-5 and second. Western Kentucky's 9-5 in third. Oh, Middle Tennessee's awful. UTSA is 9-5. UAB's 8-6, tied with North Texas for fifth. The Horizon lead Northern Kentucky and Wright State are tied at 10-4. Green Bay and UIC are tied third at 8-6. Tied for fifth, Oakland and Youngstown State at 8-7. The Ivy League, they're starting to play again. Yale's 7-1. Harvard's in second at 6-2. Princeton's 5-3 and third, tied with Cornell, also at 5-3. The Metro Athletic Conference, tied for first, Quinnipiac and Canassus at 9-5, just behind them, Monmouth and Ryder at 9-6. Iona and Siena are 8-6 and fifth. In the MAC Conference, and for the East, tied 25th ranked Buffalo and Bowling Green are both 10-2. Kent State's in third at 8-4. In the MAC West, Toledo's leading at 8-4. Central's in second at 6-6, and Ball State and EMU are tied for third at 5-7. Wow, Western's 2-11, 8-18. Wow. The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, Northford State's 11-1. North Carolina AT&T's in second at 9-3. North Carolina Central's at 8-5. Tied with Florida A&M for third. excuse me, the Missouri Valley Conference. Drake's 9-5, tied with Loyola Chicago and Missouri State. That's for the Missouri Valley Conference lead. In first, sixth ranked Nevada 6-1 in first. Utah State and New Fresno State right behind them at 10-3 in second. San Diego State's in fourth at 8-4. UNLV's 8-5 in fifth. The Northeast Conference, St. Francis is 10-4. Robert Morris is 8-6. St. Francis is also 8-6 with Wagner and Fairfield High Dixon, Sacred Heart are all 8-6 tied for second. The Ohio Valley Conference, Belmont's 12-2 tied with Murray State for the lead. One game back tied for third. Jacksonville State and Austin Peay are both 11-3. The Pac-12 is not a good conference, but Washington, I don't know why they're not ranked. They're 11-1, leading by 3 games over Oregon State at 8-4. Arizona State and Utah are tied at 8-5. Colorado, Stanford, USC are all tied for fourth at 7-6. The Patriot League, Bucknell is 11-3. Lehigh is 10-4 in second. Colgate's in third at 9-5. The SEC conference tied for the lead now, both 11-1. This is a big game for the SEC this week too. LSU, the SEC, Big 12, Big 10. It's all a big week for them, and ACC too. I can't wait for those conference matchups to happen. LSU 13th ranked, they're tied with 5th ranked Tennessee 11-1. Third is one game back Kentucky at 10-2. Ole Miss and South Carolina are tied for 4th at 8-4. The Southern Conference, Wofford's undefeated. I think they're the only undefeated conference team left. They're 15-0. They have a 3.5 game lead over UNC Greensboro and Furman. Look out for Wofford, tied for third are Furman and East Tennessee State, 11-4. The Southland Conference, Sam Houston State's in first at 12-1. Albion Christian second at 10-3. New Orleans and SEC Louisiana's at 9-4. The Southwestern Athletic Conference, Prairie View A&M is 11-1. Texas Southern's 9-3 in second. Alabama State's in third at 8-4. Arkansas and Pine Bluff is in fourth at 8-5. The Summit League, South Dakota State's 11-2. Omaha's 10-2. Purdue Fort Wayne's in third at 9-4. North Dakota State are 8-5 and fourth. The Sun Belt Conference, Texas State's leading at 10-3. Georgia State's a game back at 9-5 or 9-4. 8-5 are UT Arlington. Georgia Southern 8-5. Oh, I'm losing feeling in my foot. You guys ever feel that before? Yeah, I just lost it. Oh, there's the other undefeated team other than Wofford, the West Coast Conference. Gonzaga is 12-0, second ranked. BYU's 2.5 games back, 10-3. San Francisco, the Dons. I like that name. They're tied with St. Mary's, the Gales, too, at 8-4 for third. Mexico State is leading the Western Atlantic Conference at 11-1. Grand Canyon's in second at 8-4. So big week. There's only 2 undefeated conference teams left. Wofford and Gonzaga leading their divisions. Second ranked Gonzaga. Big week for the SEC, Big 12, ACC, and Big 10. The Big Ten's got Michigan State and Michigan. That's a great matchup. I think Michigan's going to win that one. Tennessee's at LSU on Saturday. I actually like LSU to upset Tennessee. That'll be for the SEC lead. The Big 12 conference, big game for Texas Tech and Kansas. I like Texas Tech. I don't think Kansas is going to win the Big 12 this week or this year. I think Kansas beats Kansas State, though. It's going to be a wild Big 12. I think it's going to be between Kansas State and Texas Tech. You heard it here first. And then there was one other Big 12 ACC. Oh, the ACC, that's right. North Carolina Duke plays on Wednesday. Big week for Duke. I think Duke might slip up maybe to Syracuse or North Carolina. Again, look out for North Carolina and Virginia. I think Virginia could take the ACC over Duke. If Duke loses to Syracuse again, I think they got a good feeling. They have a big win against North Carolina. I think they beat them. And then I think they could get upset by Syracuse. If Syracuse knows how to beat them, it's at the Carrier Dome. Big short week. That's not very good for Duke, I think. If they come off a big win and then go to Carrier Dome, that's a tough place to play. So the bracketology that they got this week for ESPN, the East Conference, where they play in Washington, D.C., their seedings, they have Duke at the number 1 overall, 6th ranked Bucknell, 8th ranked Baylor. They plays 9th ranked Wofford. Wofford's an underdog team. Look out for them. 5th ranked Villanova is playing 12th ranked Lipscomb. 4th ranked LSU is playing 13th ranked Hofstra. 6th ranked Kansas State's playing 11th ranked Minnesota. 3rd ranked Marquette's playing 14th ranked Old Dominion. 7th ranked Cincinnati's playing 10th ranked 10th seeded NC State. 2nd ranked Michigan and 15th ranked Loyola Chicago. That'd be a rematch of the Final Four if they put the tournament played right now. I think it'd be Duke and Wofford. I think it'd be Villanova, LSU. I think it'd be Kansas State and Marquette. I think it'd be NC State and Michigan. And then the Sweet 16 for that East region. This is a mock prediction. I think it'd be Duke and LSU. I think it'd be Kansas State and Michigan. And then I think it'd be Duke and Michigan. And then I think Michigan would beat Duke right now. I honestly do think Duke might slip up. I think Michigan would be in the Final Four spot in that prediction. For the West, the Anaheim region, Gonzaga would play the winner of Norfolk State and Prairie View A&M. 8th ranked Auburn would play 9th seed Ohio State. 5th ranked Virginia Tech would play the 12th seed winner of Florida and Temple. Fourth ranked Texas Tech would play 13th ranked Murray State. Sixth ranked Iowa would play 11th ranked VCU. Third ranked Houston would play 14th seed UC Irvine. Seventh ranked Mississippi State would play seed against 10th seed TCU. Second ranked North Carolina would play 15th seed Radford. I think it'd be Gonzaga and Ohio State. Then I think it'd be Florida beating Temple, and then I think Florida beat Virginia Tech, and then Texas Tech would play Florida. VCU would play Houston. Mississippi State would play North Carolina. I think it'd be Houston, North Carolina. Then it'd be Texas Tech and Gonzaga. Then I think Texas Tech would play North Carolina in that Sweet 16. And I think it'd be North Carolina. So my first semifinal would be Michigan and North Carolina. In the South region, I think it'd be they'd have Virginia seeded 1-16 against Quinnipiac and St. Francis. 8th ranked Ole Miss would seed against 9th seeded St. John's. 5th seed Wisconsin seed against 12th ranked New Mexico State. 4th seed Iowa State would seed against 13th seed Yale. Next 5th seed Florida State would seed against 11th ranked UCF. 3rd seed Purdue would seed against 14th ranked Texas State. 7th seed Buffalo would seed against 10th ranked seed Oklahoma. 2nd ranked seed Kentucky would seed against 15th ranked Northern Kentucky. I think it'd be Virginia and St. John's. Then I think it'd be Wisconsin and Yale. Florida State and Purdue. Then it'd be Buffalo and Kentucky. I think it would be Purdue and Kentucky, and then it'd be Wisconsin, Virginia. I think Virginia would play Kentucky, and then Kentucky would beat Virginia. So I got 3 2 seeds right now in the Final Four. So the last one seed, the Midwest, 1 seed Tennessee would play seed against 16 seed Sam Houston State. 8 seed Syracuse would seed against 9 seed Texas. 5th seed Louisville would seed against the winner of Arizona State, Alabama. 4th seed Nevada would seed against 13th seed Vermont. 6th seed Maryland would seed against 11th seed Clemson. 3rd seed Kansas would seed against 14th seed San Diego State. 7th seed Washington would seed against 10th seed Seton Hall. And 2nd seeded Michigan State would seed against 15th seed Montana. I think it'd be Tennessee and Syracuse. Then I think it'd be Louisville and Vermont. Then it'd be Maryland and Clemson and Seton Hall and Michigan State. Then I think it'd be Syracuse and Nevada in the Sweet 16. Then I think it would be Kansas and Michigan State. Then I think it'd be Michigan State and Syracuse. I think Syracuse would be a great tournament team. I think they'd be a dark horse. I think an 8-seed Syracuse team would be in my Final Four right now. I like them. I think it'd be 8-seed Syracuse against 2nd seed Kentucky. Then I think it'd be Kentucky and North Carolina. And Kentucky would win the title right now. I think Kentucky looks really great after losing to LSU. I know they lost to LSU, but then they hammered Tennessee. I like Kentucky right now in that bracketology prediction. Wanted to go over the Daytona 500. That's for the end for college basketball. I wanted to go over the 500. It's the first, it was a 1-2-3 finish for Joe Gibbs. They might be really good this year. Next week they go to Atlanta. I wanted to go over lap by lap the leaders. The Daytona 500. This was the first race of the season. Let's see here. We'll go over the first few laps. Oh, wait, if they got that. Let's see here. I want the Daytona 500 full results. But Denny Hamlin won the race. He led 30 laps. Let's see here. But Denny Hamlin beat Kyle Busch. He held off Kyle Busch to win his second Daytona 500. But he also won his second 500. But it's his first race this season that he's won. He didn't win it all in 2018. So Denny Hamlin held off Kyle Busch. Hamlin led 30 laps. He started 10th. Second was Kyle Busch. He started 31st. He led 37 laps in second. Eric Jones finished third. He won Daytona in the summer. He started 28th, didn't lead a lap. Fourth was Joey Logano. He started fourth and led 11 laps. Michael McDowell finished fifth. He started 34th. He led 0 laps. Sixth was Ty Dillon. He started 22nd, led 0 laps. Seventh was Kyle Larson. He spun out once. He started 26th and he led 0 laps. Ryan Preece avoided a bunch of wrecks. He started 21st. He led 0 laps. Ninth was Jimmy Johnson. He got hit in pit road. He started 17th. He led 0 laps. Ross Chastain finished 10th. He started 36th, led 0 laps. Alex Bowman started 2nd, finished 11th, led 0 laps. 12th was Brad Keselowski. Started 35th, led 0 laps. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was 13th. He started 5th. He led 16 laps. 14th was Ryan Newman. He started 19th. 15th was Parker Kligerman. He finished 15th. He finished the first one 2 laps down. There were only 14 cars on the lead lap. He led 0 laps. 16th was Austin Dillon, 2 laps down, our defending Daytona 500 winner. He started 20th. He led 0 laps. 17th was Chase Elliott. He started 18th. He led 0 laps. Corey LaJoie finished 18th. Chase Elliott and Corey LaJoie finished on lap 200. BJ McLeod, too, he finished 19th, led 0 laps, started 38th. Corey LaJoie started 32nd, finished 18th, led 0 laps. 20th was Clint Boyer, he was in it all the way. Started 6th, led 0 laps. 21st was William Byron, he started first, he got involved in an accident, didn't finish. That was lap 199 for Clint Boyer, 198 for William Byron. He led 44 laps for his 21st, was the pole sitter. 22nd was Jamie McMurray in this last race. He started 16th and finished at a DNF. He led 6 laps. It was lap 198. He got out. 23rd was Brendan Gong. He started 30th. He led 0 laps. He was in an accident. 24th was Landon Castle. He started 27th. He led 0 laps. He was in an accident on lap 196. 25th was Kurt Busch. He started 12th. He was way back on laps. He was in an early wreck early in the race. He finished 25th, but wound up finishing 25th. He ran the rest of the way. 26th was Kevin Harvick. He started 3rd. He got involved in a wreck. Lap 194. Tyler Reddick finished 27th. He started 39th. He led 0 laps. Matthew DiBenedetto started 9th. He led 49 laps. He was in 28th. He was out of the race. 29th was Paul Menard. He started 7th. Led 0 laps. Caused a giant chain reaction. Was out of the race. 30th was David Reagan. He started 24th. He led 0 laps. He was in a wreck. 31st was Ryan Blaney. He led 13 laps. He started 14th. It was his lap 190. Big wreck he was involved in. 32nd was Eric Almirola. He started 8th. He finished 32nd. Didn't lead a lap. 33rd was Daniel Suarez. He started 23rd. Finished 33rd. That's my phone. He was involved in an accident. 34th was the rookie Daniel Hemrick. He started 29th. Finished 34th. He was involved in a wreck. Daniel Hemrick led 1 lap as well. Martin Truex Jr. started 11th. He finished 35th. He was involved in also a lap 190 wreck. Matt Tifft started 33rd. He finished 36th. He led 0 laps. He was in a wreck. 37th was Chris Buescher. He started 15th. He led 0 laps. Bubba Wallace was involved in the wreck in 38th place. He started 13th. He was out of the race. Cody Ware started 37th. He was involved in a wreck. And Casey Mears, first race in 2 years, finished last. Started 40th, finished 40th, got involved in a wreck. So Kurt Busch and Bubba Wallace got involved in an early wreck. That ended their day. There was a big lap 190 wreck where Paul Menard got into Matthew DiBenedetto. It involved Chris Buescher, Matt Tifft, Martin Truex Jr., Daniel Hemrick, Daniel Suarez, Eric Almirola, Ryan Blaney, David Reagan, Paul Menard, Matthew DiBenedetto, Tyler Reddick. They were involved. There was another big wreck, too, that Clint Boyer and William Byron got involved in. Or Michael McDowell turned Clint Boyer. It involved Kevin Harvick, Landon Castle, Brendan Gaughan, Jamie McMurray, William Byron, and Clint Boyer. But it was between Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch the last 10 laps. The last hour took a while. Oh, by the way, the shot winners are, yes, they do the race in half, 60 laps, lap 120. I always forget the title of it. 200, that's the last 80 laps. They do it in sections. Kyle Busch won the first section. A second session was won by Ryan Blaney, but they did not wind up winning the race. Denny Hamlin finished first, but so he's in the chase. He's the first of 16 drivers to get in. He's the first to get in. The standings, I'm looking here. I'll look at next week at Atlanta, who the favorites are. Next week they go to Atlanta. The Sprint Cup standings at the moment. Let's see here. The full standings is what I want. You know Denny Hamlin won. He's in there. Joey Logano's there. He's tied for first. Kyle Busch is third. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is fourth. Eric Jones is fifth. Alex Bowman's tied 450s and sixth. Jimmy Johnson's seventh. Kyle Larson is eighth. Brad Keselowski's ninth. Michael McDowell's 10th. Ty Dillon's 11th. Ryan Pierce is 12th. 13th Chase Elliott. Ryan Blaney's 14th. Clint Boyer 15th. William Byron 16th. Ryan Newman's out there in 17th. Austin Dillon, Eric Almirola, Matthew DiBenedetto. That is for the standings right now. NASCAR this week, my Atlanta predictions. I think Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski will come back. Kyle Busch will be in the race. I think Kevin Harvick is my favorite to win the race. But, yeah, it's a big win for Denny Hamlin. He hasn't won in 2 years. Congrats to him. Hasn't won since 2017. Didn't have the best year last year. I feel like it's the same thing for Jimmy Johnson. He'll win this year. Him and Denny Hamlin didn't have a single win at all last year. I feel like they're going to get it done this year. The NBA standings and NHL standings, I'll go over that. Now I want to go over some NFL signings to end off the show. The games tonight: Suns are at the Cavaliers at 7. Heat are at the 76ers at 7. Trailblazers are at the Nets at 7:30. Celtics are at the Bucks at 8. This is returning from All-Star Weekend. The Kings were at the Warriors at 10:30. Rockets were at the Lakers at 10:30. Team LeBron beat team. I can't say the Bucks guy's name. I'm gonna say the Bucks guy. That's a big star. They've won the game. I wanted to go over that. Actually, that's for Thursday. Oh, Team LeBron beat Team Giannis. This is 178 60, 164. The Giannis guy had 38 points. Kevin Durant had 31 points. Tonight's games, do they play tonight? Actually, no, they don't play tonight. They play, yeah, hang on, Wednesday. They don't play till Thursday? Yeah, until the Suns play the Cavaliers on Thursday. Heat at 76 7 on Thursday. Trailblazers at the Nets 7:30 Thursday. Celtics at the Bucks at 8 on TNT. Kings at the Warriors at 10:30. Rockets at the Lakers at 10:30 on TNT. The standings. Eastern Conference, the Bucks are 43 and 14. Second are the Raptors at 43 and 16. Third in the Eastern Conference, Pacers are 38 and 20. Celtics are 37-21, tied with the 76ers for fourth and fifth. This is at the All-Star break. The Nets are 30 and 29. Hornets are 27 and 30. Pistons are 26 and 30. Heat are 26 and 30, tied with for eighth. Magic are 27 and 32 for 10th. Wizards are 24 and 34 and 11th. Hawks are 12th at 19 and 39. Bulls are 14 and 44 and 13th. Cavs are 12 and 46 and 14th. Knicks are 11 and 47 and 15. So at the playoffs start, they'd be the 8-seeded Pistons at the 1-seeded Bucks. 5-seed 76ers would play the 4-seeded Celtics. 6-seed Nets would play the 3-seed Pacers. 7-seed Hornets would play the 2-seed Raptors. In the Western Conference, leading that one after the All-Star break, 41-16 are the Warriors. Second are the Nuggets at 39-18, 2 games back. Third are the Thunder at 37-20. Trailblazers are fourth at 34 and 23. The Rockets are fifth at 33 and 24. Sixth are the Jazz at 32 and 25. Seventh are the Spurs at 33 and 26. And the Clippers are 32 and 27 and eighth. The Kings are back there at 30 and 27. The Lakers are in 10th, 3 games back at 28 and 29. Timberwolves at 27 30 and 11th. Mavs are 26 31 and 12th. Pelicans are 26 33 and 13th. Grizzlies at 23 and 36 and 14th. And the worst team in the whole league are the Suns at 11 and 48. As the playoffs started, they'd be the 8-seed Clippers playing the 1-seed Warriors. 5-seed Rockets playing the 4-seed Trailblazers. 6-seed Jazz played 3-seed Thunder. And 7-seed Spurs who played the 2nd-seeded Nuggets at the moment. The NHL standings, the games for tonight. Let's see here. I'll go over the games tonight, or mention them, and then the standings. Tonight, Buffalo is at Florida at 7 p.m. Pittsburgh's at New Jersey at 7 p.m. Tampa Bay's at Philadelphia at 7 p.m. New York's at Carolina at 7 p.m. Columbus is at Montreal at 7:30. Toronto's at St. Louis at 8 on NBC Sports Network. Anaheim's at Minnesota at 8. Nashville's at Dallas at 8:30. And Arizona's at Edmonton. Chicago's at Detroit on NBC Sports Network and FS1 tomorrow at 7:30. 10. Boston's at Vegas at 10 on NBC Sports Network. The standings right now in the Eastern Conference, the Atlantic, the Lightning are 45-11 in first. The Bruins are second at 35-17. Maple Leafs are 36-19 in third. Canadians are 31-21 in fourth. Sabres are 28-23 in fifth. Panthers are 25-24 in sixth. Red Wings are 23-29 in seventh. Senators are 22-32 in eighth. In the Metropolitan, the Islanders are 35-17 in first. Capitals are 33-20 in second. Blue Jackets are 33-22 in third. Penguins are 31-21 in fourth. Hurricanes are 31-22 at fifth. Flyers are 28-24 in sixth. Rangers are 25-25 in seventh. Devils are 23-28 in eighth. In the Western Conference Essential, the Jets are 36-19 in second. The Predators are 34-22. The Blues are 31-22 in third. The Stars are 29-24 in fourth. Wild are 27-26 in fifth. Avalanche are 24-24 in sixth. Blackhawks are 25-26 in seventh. In the Pacific, the Flames are 36-16 in first. The Sharks are 35-17 in second. The Knights are 32-25 in third. The Canucks are 26-27 in fourth. The fifth are the Coyotes at 26-28. The Ducks are 23-27 in sixth. Oilers are 24-29 in seventh. And the Kings are 23-30 in last and eighth. That's for the NHL. I just wanted to go over some NFL signings that happened in the last week or so. The small-time deal was Andre Ellington signed with the Buccaneers. Charles Clay signed with the Cardinals today. But the big ones in the last week, first over Kareem Hunt. The bombshell the Browns would sign him for a 1-year deal. I know the Browns already got Duke Johnson and Nick Chubb. They just want to see what Kareem Hunt could do in this next year. He might be suspended too, so that's why they might need a guy in case Chubb gets hurt. They got Duke Johnson, maybe a solid backup. Kareem Hunt's more of a starting guy, but he'll be suspended. I think he'll go somewhere else in 2020. That's not the Browns, but that's a big running back deal. The Browns have a 1-2-3 punch at the running game. Their quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield, they're going to be good. They got Jarvis Landry, Antonio Callaway, Bashard Perriman. They got a great lineup. I think the Browns will be back possibly in the playoffs next year. And the other one that was a stunner, it's the first in the quarterback market. The Ravens really wanted to get rid of Flacco. They want Lamar Jackson as their future. They want Joe. They want to get rid of Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco got traded. He will get traded to the Denver Broncos once the trade deal process happens. So Denver, they don't believe in Case Keenum. Or John Elway does not believe in Case Keenum after what happened last year. So Keenum might be back on the free agency market, maybe as a backup now. It was a one-year wonder thing for Case Keenum. Maybe he shouldn't have left Minnesota. I think Minnesota should have kept Case Keenum instead of Kirk Cousins or got rid of Keenum. I think Case did really well with those receivers. It took a while for Denver to gel. But what the Denver Broncos need is actually a quarterback. Since Peyton Manning retired, 2016 they had Trevor Siemian. They didn't do well. 2017 they switched off between Siemian, Paxton Lynch, and Brock Osweiler. And then this year they got Case Keenum. They haven't had a Super Bowl winning quarterback or a playoff quarterback. Well, they had Case Keenum, but he wasn't very good. But this time it's different for Denver because they got a good Super Bowl winning quarterback. I think Denver, all they needed was a good Super Bowl or playoff winning caliber quarterback. They'd be good. They got a great running back now in Philip Lindsay. They got good receivers with Sanders. I know they got rid of Demaryius Thomas. They should look into getting him again. They should get another receiver in the draft. But they got a great defense with Von Miller and Bradley Chubb. They just need a quarterback. Joe Flacco wore out his time in Baltimore. Now he's with Denver. I think Denver could make maybe some noise if they get another number 2 receiver. That brings they're not going to get quarterback in the draft now if they get Joe Flacco. Might not be the long-term solution, maybe 2 or 3 years. We'll see how much Joe Flacco has left. He is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I think that's a great deal for Denver. Really good deal for Denver. I hope them the best. So, and then Manny Machado. Congrats on the 10-year deal. I wanted to look at the Padres lineup. Padres lineup with Machado now. I already did my big prediction last week. I said Machado or Harper have got to sign somewhere. Yeah, let's see here. I'm looking at the lineup or the roster now. Let's see here. Padres lineup with Machado. Let's see here. They got Austin Hedges. They got Will Myers. He's good. Luis Urias. They got Ian Kinsler and Eric Hosmer and Manny Machado. That's a good line. I think they're a third-place team. Honestly, the Padres look pretty good. If they got Machado, Hosmer. Oh, man, that's really good. Machado, Hosmer, Kinsler now. Will Myers. That's a good little infield lineup they got. And Austin Hedges. And they're going to be a decent, I think, third-place team. They'll be a wild card team. Look out for the Padres now that they got Manny Machado. And we'll come back next week, sign more MLB deals, look at spring training, any more big NFL deals or so right now. What else? More college basketball, NBA, and NHL standings.